Steve, great result yesterday, 3-0 at the Tarmac Silverlands Stadium. I guess you must be pleased with your side's performance.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mirror image to the Whitby Albion game, to be fair. Started off like a train, played some really impressive stuff. Took a really good lead into the half, 3-0, with a superb sort of 45 minutes performance from Diego, especially with the two strikes from outside the box that were virtually identical. And then obviously his penalty. But second half we came out, and I think because the game was, without sounding too disrespectful to Radcliffe, it was a bit of a dead rubber at half time, being 3-0 down. They made three changes, and we tried to make a couple of changes just to try and manage the minutes and people's legs. And it was a bit of a damp squid in the second half, but very comfortable. And job done, 3 points, clean sheet. And, with the results that went on in and around us, it turned out to be a really good afternoon.
Yeah, obviously we'll touch on that shortly, but I guess going back to the game yesterday, I guess the pleasing thing for you potentially, obviously another clean sheet, and we'll speak about the defenders, but the credit goes to Diego for the hat trick, and obviously it was a brilliantly taken hat trick. But I guess more as a forward line, taking chances in the first half, and as you say, without being disrespectful, putting the game to bed in the first half, and then professionally managing the second half, keeping the clean sheet, and obviously getting the 3 points on the board, which obviously is taking you top officially properly.
Yeah, I think the first half performance from Diego was superb. And we had a bit of a meeting midweek talking about, just doing the right things now over the next 7 games, 8 games, including Saturday just gone, to make sure that if we're going to get over the line, we do it the right way, we do it together. There's no sort of, selfishness about it. And I think when you look at the contribution that Jamie Ward gave Diego in terms of passing the penalty over, it shows someone who's not being selfish, and the opportunity for Diego to get that little sort of special moment of having the opportunity of a hat trick is very hard to come by at this level of football. So, you can see the team togetherness in that one moment, and fantastic from Jamie because he won the penalty. He scored our last penalties. He's also fighting for the top goal scoring chart himself, and handed the ball over to him, and, Diego stuck it away. And, when you've got that's just an even bigger advantage for the team. And it was a great first half. Played some really impressive stuff. The link-up play with Warren, Tommy, Dawson, Linden, and Ward with Diego in the first half. But then when you back that up with the resolute defending that we're showing at the moment, with the tactical sort of switches that we're making in game, which is proving to be quite successful at the moment. 2 goals we conceded in the last 7, 8 games. Obviously, we're doing something right, and that's a credit to the defenders, because as much as, Diego's name will be up in lights, as it always will be when you score an hat-trick, there's a back line there, including Theo, that are working really hard to make sure they give us a benchmark of having the opportunity to get 3 points. And, the number of clean sheets we've put on the table the last few weeks is superb, and it's a credit to them. So it's going well at the moment in both boxes, both ends of the pitch. But, like we've been saying of late, we're just all about concentrating on each game one at a time, do the right things, and hopefully good things will happen in and around us. That happened this weekend, but we certainly won't be taking anything for granted. We've not won any league yesterday. I know people were getting excited yesterday with the results, but we've still got 7 massive games, and yesterday was just another one chalked off.
Yeah, and I think you touched on there the defensive record as late. Obviously, a lot of people talk about the goals we scored. Obviously, I think between the side, it's 70 goals scored now. You've got two of your players on the top goal scorers list, right up at the top, competing for the Golden Boot. But all in all, the back line is doing the job for you, because obviously you're keeping it out at one end, and obviously it was noted in the Bucks pre-match preview of the Radcliffe game. the signings of Dan Cowan and obviously particularly Sean Newton, what a difference! You know, I mean, then obviously Josh Granick coming back in as well. You know, they look strong, they look physical, and they're keeping clean sheets, which obviously is a credit to the team. But as a back line, it's not all about your front line sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great when you're a manager that brings in players and they have an impact. And contrary to opinion, everybody has an opinion, but when you look at the impact that those two players have made, and that's not taking away the work that Turner, Granite, and Curls, Foxy, middle early doors when he was with us. That's not to take away any credit from them. And there's a big contribution made by all them players, and there still will be. But it speaks volumes when Sean Newton came in. We've conceded 2 goals in the last 7-8 games, and it's not just all Sean Newton. It's just that it gives you the real leadership, the experience, the quality from the back as well, the way that we want to try and play out. And we've got a back line at the moment that's keeping Ben Turner out. Well, that's frightening because we're just trying to get the big man ready now, and we've got him on standby, and that's a manager's dream. When you're keeping clean sheets and you can't get Turner or Foxy in your team, and they're ready and waiting for their opportunity. So we're in a great place, but the hard work's being done by them players in training. They're putting the bodies on the line in the game, and the greatest thing is they're giving us the biggest and best chance of winning a football match. They're doing their job. That allows us to play the football that we are executing in training. We do have a structure. We do have an identity, and at the moment, anybody who walks away from the Silverlands watching us is disappointed. Then I don't know how else it can get any better than that. Especially the last couple of halves of football that you've seen us score the goals in. It's frightening. So it's a good balance. It's nice to, when you think where we were in January, and we were still playing the same way. We're still playing the same way as we were back then, but we're not making as many mistakes now. We're making it very difficult for teams to score against us. And when we had that patch of conceding 2s and 3s, now we're locking it up at the defensive end. It's great to see, and it's all credit to the players. We're all in it together, but ultimately, once the players cross over the line, in any form of football pyramid, it's down to the players, and they're all a credit to the football club at this moment in time.
Yeah, well, brilliant. And obviously, next up it's Whitby away next week. Obviously, the positive, you're guaranteed to go into that game top of the league. Obviously, I don't know if that affects your mentality, how you prepare this week. But it's a good week's break, I guess, now for your side, just to focus, regroup, and keep the momentum going into that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive fixture for us. We've said when we sat down originally and discussed what the plans were going to be, it was to treat every game as an individual game, and the next one will always be the biggest one of the season. And next week's a tough game against Whitby away. And when you were there on Saturday, you saw we had a couple of knockbacks and injuries that have put a couple of scares amongst the management team because they're vital players, and we've got a lot of work to do this week, either in the recruitment process of bringing people in to cover us, because we've got some bad injuries, and we've got a number of players that are playing a lot of minutes of football, and when you've played 30 plus games in the season, you're going to start getting injuries, and it's tough for them because of what we're demanding from them in training, and also the style of football, both with and without the ball. Now, on Saturday, I think some of the issues that have arisen that we've got to deal with, we're going to have to look after a number of players. It's not going to be an easy week. It's going to be tough, but we're going to have to make sure we do the right things and look after people, and whether that's bringing in some reinforcements to give us that breathing space, or wrap everybody up in cotton wool. It's going to be a big week for the club because the next game is the biggest, and it doesn't get any tougher than Whitby away.
No, well, obviously, brilliant result yesterday. Obviously, well done to you and the team. Just a quick plug. Obviously, there is a coach on for the fans if they look online. And I guess a final note on that, it'd be great to see some fans up at Whitby, because I guess for you and the players, I mean, the fans are making a big difference, making the noise behind you.
Yeah, I mean, another 700 plus crowd yesterday. fantastic. They really are galvanising at the moment, and all friends and family and children are coming. It's a fantastic atmosphere at the moment at the Silverlands, and we're doing our bit by trying to produce the football that people want to pay and come and see, and the fans are doing their bit, coming and supporting us in the right way. And we wish everybody a safe trip that we'll be travelling up to Whitby. And long may that support continue, and together we can have a great season.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll catch up during the week before the Whitby game and preview that one. But all the best for this week, and look forward to seeing you next weekend.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.